Awesome, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of It Is What It Is podcast. I am your host, the one, the only, the bald man himself, Coach Caliah. Look, I appreciate all of you for tuning in, subscribing, listening to this. I have an amazing episode with some amazing individuals. You're familiar with Coach Caliah, but she brought a friend, and I'm looking forward to this episode. It's going to be amazing. We're going to discuss micronutrients and really just the foundations of a proper diet, because the reality is, if you like me, I deserve McDonald's sometimes. I'm not gonna lie with you. I have these bad cravings. Sometimes I drive by Harold's Chicken just to smell what fried chicken smells like. I just need it in my nostrils. I like going past people who love to eat and hearing them salivate over food. It just does something on the inside of me. It's something I'm working on and I'm praying over. But we need to discuss what's really going on. But before we get into that, if you want to keep seeing amazing content and amazing leaders like I have on today, you got to do three things. We've upped it. This is a new season. It's not two anymore. The first thing is you connect with me as Instagram at CBMK33. The second thing, when it comes up, follow me on the YouTube at CV Space K. That is Cody Vernon Kelly. And the third thing, if you just want to say, hey, brother, I like what you do. I know you got student loans because those degrees are not cheap. You can support it, brother, at my Cash App below. But look, those three things keep me rocking and rolling. And with that being said, I have my guest on, Coach Cailah and Detria. How are you guys doing today?
What's going on, Cody? It's good to see you again. It's been a while, so I'm happy to be back. Glad to be here.
Appreciate it.
Same as well. As a beautiful day, and I'm looking forward to our chat tonight as well.
Awesome. Detria, where are you?
I am in El Paso, Texas.
Oh my God. All over Texas. So I'm here in Chicago, so it's a little cold out. We have officially entered into fall. Yeah. It's wet and the temperatures is decreasing, and it's just one of those seasons. It's crazy over here, and I feel like it'll snow really soon. So let's get into it. Look, a lot has been happening. I follow what I believe in. That makes sense. Like, you follow what you believe in, right? Like, I follow certain donut restaurants because I believe in donuts. It's not because I eat them. I just like seeing donuts on my Instagram page. It makes me just think twice. Like, maybe I should go buy Stan's Donuts now. But I follow Coach Caliah, and I know she's been doing a lot of expansion. I saw Coach Mia was added to it. I saw like a few other things. I'm like, man, a lot of things have been happening and haven't had a chance to connect. And then she informs me like, hey, look, I've expanded. So I'm going to give the floor to her. What's been going on?
Man, everything. I think it's only been a few months since we've spoken, but to give you guys and your new listeners a quick rundown, my name is Coach Caliah. I am the founder of a company called Design Your Body Academy. Design Your Body Academy is an online personal training and nutrition coaching platform where you get one-on-one coaches to help you take care of your individual needs so that we can help you to literally design the body that God intended for you. And so I'm super excited because what we've done is we actually, again, like you said, we've expanded. And so we've created different franchises for the company. And Detria was one of the first to hop on. And I'm so excited to have her on board. So she is one of our founding franchisors of Design Your Body Academy. And her specialty is in holistic nutrition. So I'm super excited to have Detria on board.
Perfect. Detria, so why did you jump on? You jumped on board, you got this franchisee open. What led you to this, right? Like, what was the aha moment? Like, this is for me.
Honestly, it's always been in my mind to work with a group of people because I can get a ton of certs, but I'm not going to be really an expert in everything, and having a team that's passionate about what they do, that's what you want. You want to work with that. And so working with the team of fitness and nutrition coaches that we have, I'm super excited to be a part of it.
Awesome. So since you guys, you're certified, what I like about, your movement is that, a lot of people say that they're nutritionists or that they're certified coach, but when you look at their credentials, there's some lack. And, or it's the flip. They have credentials, but they don't work out. It is like, but you don't look like, like, I don't be like that. I don't want to body shop. I'm just saying, but you ain't about that life, right? As we say it in Chicago. So so you guys have kind of that perfect balance of just synergy. So I wanted to really pose this because, you know, every year, this is stupid. Every year I get older, and it happens. It's like a birthday. I can't stop. And the older I get, the harder it is to the harder it is to stick to a terrible diet and expect good results. In your youth, you can just, you know, eat whatever you want to eat, go hoop, you know, and be ready for the summer. It's like ever since I've, you know, went now digging into my 30s, it's like I gotta take more away, you know, and I gotta add this, you know, I gotta add this supplement, I gotta take this away, I need to add vegetables. Now all of my food looks like broccoli and, you know, white rice, and just like it's just so healthy, so pure, and so not tasteful. But it helps me to look like what I look like on Instagram. Also, follow me on Instagram, CBNK33. So it helps me to look like what I look like, and I think my wife likes it as well. But it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes I don't want to do this crap. Sometimes, sometimes I'm having a real moment here. Sometimes I just want to eat and feel good about myself and just smell McDonald's and just have a time in a fry bag. But I know that's not right. So what is? Because I'm learning that diet is everything, right? Like you can work out all you want, but if you don't get the basics right, you will hinder your own results. So what the heck? What is a macro and a micronutrient to us laymen?
Okay, so you're right. Diet is everything in terms of giving you the fuel you need so that when you're exercising, you're going to be burning it off, but you actually have to have energy to even exercise. So that's where people struggle with that in terms of healthy weight, right? And a macronutrient are those things we talk about, right? The fats. Oh, I don't eat carbs. Well, okay, macronutrients are carbs, right? And that's going to be starchy carbs, sugary carbs, fiber carbs. And then you have your fats as well, right? So you have protein, fats, and carbs are your macros. They're the large molecule nutrients, right? And so when we're looking at a food label, it's going to generally be in grams, like, oh, you have 20 grams of this, or 9 grams of protein, or, 2 grams of fat, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing most of the macronutrients give you, fiber doesn't, but everything else does, is calories, right? And so that's why those macros in so many different ratios, right? That's why all those different diets out there exist. It's giving you the calories you need, which is your energy to fuel your day, to fuel your brain, to fuel your body. So we do need the macros, but everyone's different in what amount they need in those macros, right? And then as far as micros go, these are going to be those really tiny nutrients. And so we're looking at your vitamins and your minerals are your micronutrients. They take what we get from the food, all those macros, protein, fats, and carbs, and they help us break it down. So someone's like, oh, I need B vitamins for energy. Yes, but B vitamins aren't energy. They help your body break down your fats, your carbs, your protein, and convert that into energy. So that's how the vitamins and minerals are working. They're helping to make your bones strong, helping to support energy, helping to regulate blood sugar, immune health, just different things. It depends on what they are.
That makes a lot of sense. I did not know that. So, all right, let's go back to the beginning. So, all carbs are not created equal. Is that fair to assume? You listed about 5 or 6 different carb categories. So there are good, or I should say, best, better, good, not so good carbs, right? So like it's Friday night and it's pizza night. Where does pizza fall into? Is that a
Well, now pizza could be 100% good carb, right? Because you could have a cauliflower crust pizza, a vegetable
I like
crust,
cauliflower crust,
an almond flour pizza. I love pizza. I love food. So a lot of dietitians or nutritionists get into this because they love food, or there's other reasons, of course, as well. So your pizza is going to have vegetables on it. Those plant foods, peppers, tomatoes, olives, mushrooms, those are all good carbs. The crust is usually what's in question, right? And the crust is going to be a refined carb, unless it's a plant-based carb, right? And so that's where it kind of goes up and down. But then you have the fat coming from cheese, coming from maybe some meat. So I think it can balance out and become an even food choice because you got all the components of your macros there. You got fat, protein, and carbs. It just kind of depends on what diet philosophy you're currently following.
Right. Yeah. The biggest thing is it depends on your goals. Like if you're an endurance runner and you need to stuff carbs, you have to carb load. Pizza, pasta, lasagna, those things are going to be amazing prior to an event. If you're running a 5K, a half marathon, whatever it is, those things that are, again, they're going to be super helpful. So when we look at nutrition, it's not about what's bad or what should I stay away from. It's about what are my goals and what is the best way for my body to personally get there. So there are no bad macros. There are no bad micros. Our body needs them all, but we just have to kind of fit the puzzle pieces together so that we can easily and more quickly get to our goals.
Is that the biggest challenge or misnomer, is that everybody thinks that one size fits all? Like if there are no bad, carbs or bad sources of protein, there might be better, but there are no bad in theory. That's probably why it's important to have an individualized plan and an individualized coach, because how would you know? Exactly. Right? Like, how would you know? Because, you grow up and you're like, I got to get 3 meals. Your first meal is what? It's probably Starbucks and a muffin. That's probably not the carbs. It's probably not a bad carb. It's a great. I like no sous vide. But I'm just saying, like, when you think about it, like, but is it the carb for me? So, somebody new comes to your office and it's like, Coach K, look, my goal is I want to look like The Rock. I would say Michael B. Jordan, but my wife's got a crush on him, so I'm gonna discard that dude. I'm gonna look like The Rock. And how do I become 6'5", 260? What is my individual plan?
Well, first we always have to look at that person's genetic makeup. Sure. Can you grow 5-6 inches? Right. Number one, like is your body the type of body that can support that level of muscle mass? So we look at the realism of what your goals are, right? I love SMART goals. Maybe we have heard of SMART goals. The SMART stands for an acronym. It's the S is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and then time bound, right? Or timely. And so if we have a person, like I've had people like that before who had goals that were not healthy, and I've had to turn them away if they tried to force me into that. Perfect example, I had a guy a few years ago, he wanted to lose like almost 50 or so pounds. But once I've done his measurements, he would be cutting into maybe 10 to 15 pounds of muscle, So it's just like, okay, all weight loss isn't good weight loss. It's not just about the number on the scale. It's about what makes up that number, i.e. your body composition. So the first thing is to always identify, is that person's goal healthy? Is it realistic for them? Then you look at further into the body, like, okay, well, how long is it going to take to build this plan? What in terms of nutrition, like I'll let Detria hit on that. So I'll hit on fitness, in terms of fitness, like where are we working out? If you want to have a super ripped body, but you're working out at home, okay, we're going to have a lot of high reps, point blank, period. If all we have are 10-pound dumbbells and a pull-up bar, we have to hit 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50 reps to get the same amount of volume or intensity that we would from bench pressing at the gym or from shoulder pressing on the barbell. So the plan is always dependent upon, again, the person's genetics, of course, the overall goal, and where they are in their life. How much time do they have to commit to it? So some people have a goal, I want to be Michael B. Jordan, but you can only work out three times a week. Right. Again, we got to look at what's really realistic for that person. So I'll let Detria hit on the nutrition side and kind of planning that part out.
And it's very similar as well. There is not a one size fits all solution. It is very individualized. We all like different TV shows. We all like to wear different clothes. So what makes us think that our bodies are going to need the same things? They do. Macronutrients and micronutrients. But after that, it starts to deviate based on, like Cailah said, our goals. And I look at it from that health perspective. Is there diabetes in the family? Is there heart disease in the family? Is there digestive issues? You have energy issues. Your brain not functioning as well. You're like moody. Are you fatigued all the time. So I want to make sure that we can accomplish their fitness goals, but that we also can accomplish general health goals along with that as well. And so I like to dig in deep and do some assessments to find out how's their organ system functioning, what's their nutritional balance looking like? Do they need maybe some more B vitamins or some more protein? And so
Sure.
that helps me build a plan to support them.
So Detria, walk me through that assessment piece, because I think I try to put myself in the frame of somebody that is inquiring your services, and it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of misinformation out there. It's just, it is what it is. Misinformation is like the word of the day, right? And somebody might say, I saw this video on YouTube and it says all I have to do is 10 jumping jacks, 20 body squats, and eliminate all my carbs and I'll be good, right? Like, that type of, but it's common. I know that sounds crazy, but it's common. Like, most people can't tell you what a macro and a micro is, right? Like, I didn't even know that a micronutrient had to deal with vitamins, and I should have known that, right? It's my fault. But at the same time, I don't prioritize it, right? So if somebody's coming to you and is like, I need to go through this assessment, you're saying, hey, okay, let's sit down and let's talk. It seems like there will be an initial apprehension to that. Am I lying, or?
Well, they have to be willing to be honest with themselves about how they're feeling and the things that they're doing, because the assessment it will be subjective if they're not able to, and it is anyway, but if they can't be as objective as possible with answering those questions, like, are you getting enough sleep? Do you have stomach pain? Do you feel moodiness? Do you have like itchiness? Like, it's a very deep question, some personal questions. So I have them take it and they do it on their own time. And then I get the results back. But I know everything they've answered. So I know what habits are contributing to some of these nutritional imbalances, or with their blood sugar being imbalanced, or with their thyroid being off, for example, which would both affect weight loss, for example.
Sure.
Another cool thing, if I can jump in, another cool thing is that, like, Detria is amazing, right? Like, that's why she's here. She's amazing. So she can take the information that someone put in and identify specific micronutrient imbalances that lead to further issues, further health issues, or again, making it harder to reach the person's goal. So if you want to be Michael B. Jordan, but your thiamine is too low, your whatever is too high, she can balance that out based off of these simple questions that she's able to ask, and then create the plan. So it's not just, okay, are you bloated after you eat, raw broccoli? So like, for that's a simple thing. Like, okay, well, stop doing that, eat cooked broccoli. But she's able to go to such a level where she can literally help you to cleanse your gut, fix the thought, or whatever the issues may be for that person. Like, it's like
You're good. What about popular diets, like, things that kind of catch on and are, I don't know, they just have momentum, but they're not based in science. And I think, like, I don't know why things aren't based in science anymore. But anyway, so, whether it's this or that, well, I'm now, and I'm not against any of this, but it's hard, sometimes I go to certain food subscription services, right? And it's like, okay, we'll pick your meal plan. It's like, all right. So you look down and you go through, and it's like, okay, paleo. And I was like, I don't know what the paleo is for me. You go down, this is vegan. It's like, well, I tried that, but I do like fish and a few other meats every now and then. And it's like, all right, clean. It's like, this is probably the safest. And then it's like, and it's plant-based and then it's vegan. Like, like there's all these things, but it's almost like selecting something that needs to be medically verified, right? And I think I don't think most people think like that. I think most people are like, hey, look, my guy's doing this. I know somebody's doing this. I'm going to just select it. It's $100 a week. And then bam, it shows up at my front doorstep, which is cool. You can say, you don't have to cook it, but is that the true solution? Like, are you down with food subscription services, or do you need a more tailored approach?
I love them because I think one of the things we mentioned earlier was busy. I'd rather someone get a meal prep service, or, one of those services where they come home, the food's already been ordered, it's delivered, it's already pre-portioned, and they just have to cut it up and make it or just open it up. If that's what it takes to keep them from McDonald's or doing certain other things that's going to break that diet,
Right.
I'm happy with that. And yes, you're right. There are a lot of options. There's paleo, there's vegan, there's gluten-free, there's plant-based, there's a host of them because there's over 150 plus diets out there. And that's because we're that unique. And no, not all of them are based in science. Some of the more popular ones do have some merit behind them. But again, it's individual. Not everybody is a carb burner. They might do better, burning fat, going into ketosis on a keto diet, but not everybody's meant to be on a keto diet. And it doesn't mean you're always eating bacon on ice cream and bacon on this either, if you are going to have that much fat in your diet.
That works. From a competitor standpoint, Coach Caliah, you have competed.
Mm-hmm.
Diet. Talk to us about the necessity. Like, how important is that? Why can't I just buy it? Why can't I buy it at GNC? Like, why try to raid my fridge and destroy my happiness over a celery? Like, maybe I'm not down with the green, right? Maybe I don't want the Green New Deal. Maybe I'm, I subscribe to the Kojic diet, and every time I get around church, I just want fried chicken and mashed potatoes, and it just enters my being because this is how I was raised. Why would I do that? Why are you trying to play games?
that diet spans well beyond Kojic. That's just Black church right there.
True.
So it's funny because I think that is the most asked question. Why can't I eat whatever I want if I'm still working out? And the biggest answer is it takes longer for you to burn calories than it does for you to eat them. That's the most simple answer, right? If you have a sandwich, a McDonald's, whatever, let's just say that sandwich is, on the low end, 1,000 calories, right? Think about a lot of those are. Look at the nutrition labels. Look at it, and sometimes if you go to that restaurant's website, you can type in your meal and they'll show you how many calories and what the macro splits are there. Right. Mm-hmm. I remember I did that for Chipotle. I was in like college. I was like, let me see what macros are. My Chipotle burrito was a good like 3,700 calories.
Jeez. I thought I was making a smarter decision going to Chipotle than MCD. I was like, man.
So, and it's not bad, but it's about the knowledge, right? So if let's take it to a Twinkie. A Twinkie might be what, Detria, 400 calories?
Maybe.
Something around 400, right? It would take maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of exercise to burn 400 calories, but you can eat a Twinkie in 2 or 3 bites.
Yeah.
So that 2 minutes of pleasure versus a 2-hour workout. When you start to really compare, you be like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, right? And so when we look at what your goals are, it's about, okay, how many overall calories do I need? How many can I play with? And if I have some calories, like if I want ice cream at night, if I want to play with some, then you can go exercise a little bit more to balance it out. But the biggest thing is that most people overeat. We eat more than the calories that we actually burn. Therefore, we either stay the same weight or we start to gain weight because we're not doing enough when we're overeating. Because our bodies don't need that much that we really think that they do in terms of energy wise.
Why is that? Why are we overeating? I thought it was income related. I thought that maybe as a sign of economic poverty, the quality of food would decrease. In theory, you would think that. But it seems like when it comes to calorie consumption, that is true. Yet there's a yet to that. Why? What is there? What is it because eating is more emotional than it is physical?
It's the psychology of food.
It's the psychology of food. And
You
what?
win a game, like think about it, your kids, right? We're kids. You win a game, mom, dad, someone, they take us for ice cream and pizza. Cool. You lose a game, they take you for ice cream and pizza. You got an A on your test in school. You were rewarded majorly with something kind of food, right? Or you got in trouble, food was taken away, or our lives are built around the table. The African American life is built around the table. And so, because we have that as a crux for our emotions are rooted in what we eat. That's why we have the whole concept of comfort foods, right?
Yeah.
And go ahead,
We're
Detria.
all emotional eaters.
Mm-hmm.
Happy occasions, sad occasions. We're emotional eaters, and that's not a bad thing. It's just understanding when you're eating those foods, what are you eating? How are you feeling during the time that you're eating those foods? And that can help you curb maybe eating less of certain foods or not eating a certain food. But you have to sit down and have some awareness, journal it out so you can see some patterns.
Would
And then
you
we
say
also-
that mental health, because we're all emotional eaters, I think, I think about the pandemic. A lot of people, the pandemic affected everybody, but from a weight perspective, some were more affected than others. That's fair to say. And I think that's right. I think that's a fair assessment. But a lot of things contributed to that. Most of the gyms were closed, right? And because they were, enforced lockdown rules, you couldn't really go out, right? So a lot of your activities that were kind of subsidized for all that were kind of, taken away. And then you're dealing with, we had the summer 2020 that looked like more like the summer of 1955. And all these things just kind of just collided, right? It was like a big, right? And it created this emotional disturbance and trauma. It created trauma. It really did. And I think most individuals dealt with it by eating. And it wasn't a bad thing. It was just how I think it's the drug nobody wants to talk about. Right? Like it's easier to eat something, right? That's bad for me. Or it might be perceived as safer than to, drink or to smoke or to do any of that, right? So, and sometimes I think we're overlooking the harmful effects of this because, yeah, obviously it doesn't have like the same connotation if you see somebody outside drunk, but ultimately, it's destructive. It's just a slower kill, right? So should we have should the label be attached to you as food therapists or diet therapists? I mean, how would you like that if somebody's like, this is my food therapist?
Wow. I'm actually taking a course, so I'll have to dig in deeper on food addiction. But yeah, this woman is like, it's all the same. It's like all the same. But food therapist kind of sounded funny. I mean, it sounds kind of fun to me because I think it's an art. Honestly, food is an art, nutrition is an art, fitness is an art. And it's like you take a dash of this and a pinch of this and you put together, you have someone's amazing plan that they're going to be working with for a while, is how I look at it. But food therapist, maybe, but you know what? It's true. It's a huge bit of psychology in it, just getting people to make those shifts.
Sure.
And understanding why. There can be some deep-rooted reasons why people are eating pie every night. And they're not going to stop because this is just something that they're so used to doing, and figuring out, So yeah, you definitely can be a food therapist. But that would require a lot more psychology in the background to help them deeper with that as well.
Makes sense. Coach Caliah, we are heading into the fall.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're not. We're there. We're not heading. We're there. I had to think about where I live. I was like, no, we're there. We're already here. This is the season where the gym gets lighter. I've noticed. I worked out this morning. I got to the gym at like 5:10 in the morning, and it wasn't packed. I mean, there were people there, but it was pretty light. I could get to a Stairmaster. I wasn't fighting for space, So, and I always say, you can see there are certain people who have made it a lifestyle, And then there are certain people who have made it a goal. And I always say a goal is a little bit dangerous because once you achieve it, then what's next, right? When it's just a part of your fabric and a part of your DNA, the consistency is there, right? So we're coming into this really to this wintry season, and this is where everybody's fitness goals just go. I'll resume after the holidays. I hear it all the time. I'll after New Year's. I want to get through the holidays. I want to eat what I want to eat, and then I'm gonna get to the holidays. And I get it because I put up a status that said, "Look, bulking season," but it wasn't a dirty bulk, right? It's not like I'm gonna just. It's like I'm probably gonna put on about 2 to 5 pounds, but it's gonna be a nice 2 to 5. It's not gonna be So. What are you advising your clients as we head, as the weather shifts and you can't, all of us can't live in Texas like Detria. He has an extended, fall, summer. Some of us are going to deal with some snow real soon up here in the Midwest. So what are you advising your clients?
That's actually a great question. And this is a big issue that a lot of people deal with and they're not successful with. It's about being able to adapt and adjust. Okay. So when I ran track, I was a hurdler, and it was the coolest thing ever because every hurdle was different. There was 10 hurdles in the 100-meter hurdles. So every hurdle you had to approach as if it's an entirely new thing. So every season, right, of your life, you have to approach like it's an entirely new season. You can't do what you did in the summer, in the fall. It's a new season. Your body is changing. Your schedule is adjusting. The kids are back in school. It's getting darker sooner, and it's staying darker later. So you might not be able to run in the morning or whatever else. It's about adapting and adjusting. Perfect example in my life. Because it's getting colder in the morning, I had double knee surgery, so my knees don't do well now. So I'm switching my workouts so that now I'll lift first. And then as it warms up later through the day, then I'll go do my run. Right. So it's just about what season are we in and how can we approach that season to maintain our success. Right. And some people do have goals and they'll get there. And if they stay there, that's the maintenance phase. That's what we want. Right. And then some people need that overall lifestyle change and then they get to a maintenance phase. But the biggest thing is really realizing that the seasons do not dictate my goal. Right. It doesn't matter what's happening outside. It doesn't matter who's scheduled what on my calendar. It doesn't matter what committee meeting, what chapter meeting, what church event. It doesn't matter. My goals are my goals, and no one can dictate how they change except for me. And so what I try and do with my clients is I try and preach that at them, try and help them understand that they have the power to really design their body. And their power lies in what they allow to change them. If they don't allow anything to change or sway that goal, we hear, right? It doesn't matter if the wind blows, okay, blow along with it, but keep on moving forward. So the biggest thing is being able to adapt and adjust and still flow while moving forward step by step to reach your goal.
I like that. The seasons do not dictate my goals. That is absolutely true. I am consistent, whether it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. I go at it. I totally agree, and I think the adapt and the flow is absolutely needed. I got one more question. Question for the both of you. So I'll start with you, Detria. We talk about the biggest shift when it comes to trying to build a better health situation for someone. I'm sure there's a lot of steps to that. There might be some discomfort. I used to say blanket terms, and then I realized people sometimes are uncomfortable in the skin that they're in. They're uncomfortable with their size. And there's a certain level of heightened sensitivity that you have to be aware with, right? Everybody's not, at a point or comfortable, or they're posting, just got done with the gym and you can see the vascularity and the whatever. Everybody's not there, and there's no reason, to mind. That's just where they're not there at. you know, if somebody comes to you, Detria, and they say, look, I want to change my life, you know, I want to totally transform my diet. And I don't know where to begin. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people just don't know where to begin. And they connect with you. I see you on the show, I follow you. Walk me through the first thing that you would do with a new client.
Well, I want to know what their goals are, what their dreams are. Why do they need to change their life? You know, like the doctor tells them to, and they probably should, but I want to know why they need to make those changes, why they need to sleep better, why they need to exercise. Like, what do they see that it's going to make them? Is it more mobile, less pain, more time with their grandkids, or they're trying to have a baby and they need to make some changes in their life? Like, I want to know, like, what is it for them that's going to keep them consistent regardless of the season, right? And I want to be able to dive in deep and do those assessments with them to find out what is struggling, aside from what they tell me, what else underneath is struggling. Because if it's in a balance with like their stress, so let's say they're constantly stressed, so their adrenals are taxed, right? Their adrenal system's taxed. We can build that back up. We can have nourishing foods that support that. We can have nutrients that support that. And so that's really important. Or going into the holiday season, some people are like, look, I just want to just detox this season. And you know what? They're probably prepping for the fact that come Thanksgiving and Christmas, they're going to have some food, right? But, you know, cleaning things out, prepping that liver, getting the body cleaned out and better able to handle some of these foods that can be more challenging, that's a fine goal. And then they'll come back and see me again in February. So it's all good. You know, so I support them with where they're at. And some people like doing little detoxes or challenges as a way to jumpstart that health journey. And then some people see, wow, I actually won the poker game for a change because I wasn't drinking alcohol, right? I was actually able to live longer because I stopped drinking alcohol and my legs aren't swollen, right? So little programs can kind of help people feel really guided and focused. And then from there, some people stick with it because they feel so good.
I like it. Coach Caliah, this question's for you. You know, where do we begin, right? I think everybody has a vision for themselves, even if it's not the correct vision, it's nevertheless a vision. Mm-hmm. And somebody might say, look, I saw, what video did my guy send me? I was watching Kevin Samuels. I don't even know why I just gave him a shout out. He should be on the show, but I was watching Kevin Samuels and Kevin Samuels said this. And then I saw this video of, I think Jada Pinkett Smith did something on this on Red Table Talk, like with just, plastic surgery and whatever. And, I don't know. I want to jumpstart this. I hear what Detria is saying, but what if I could skip all that and go straight to the surgeon's knife? Because honestly, it's becoming more economical. Like the prices are going down, and $7,000 for a Brazilian butt lift, and I can look like what I see because that's what I see. Yeah. Why should you tell me anything different? Like, if they're meeting with you and this is already on their mind, is that client lost in your opinion, or is it just like, maybe we should try to change the narrative and we can get there a different route?
That's a really good question. I've dealt with that before, and it is difficult. It's difficult for me because that's not what I believe in. It's not what I agree with, but it's also not my body. So as the coach, I can caution, and I can present facts and just allow that person to make the decision that they can if they have all the information. No matter what their decision is then I step back and I support how they've made that decision. So they've made the decision. Okay, coach, well, actual example. Okay, coach, well, I want to work with you and do, fitness first, and then to kind of prepare my body for surgery, and then I want to work with one of your dietitians while I'm in the healing process so that I can still keep going and do nutrition. Then when I'm healed, then I'll go back to fitness. Right. So we create it's a healthcare team. we create a plan that still supports that person and their goals, even though personally I wouldn't choose it for myself, so it's the same thing. If it's about how can we really cater towards the individual in the best and the healthiest way possible, right? We're not going to recommend something that is, of course, unhealthy for that person, but we will still help them as they are choosing their own path along the way.
No, well said. That makes a lot of sense. I have had tough conversations with people who are not comfortable where they are. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a trainer. I don't do it. I'm like, look, I watch a bunch of stupid stuff on YouTube and I try it. That's how I get through it. That's how I get through life. So, don't follow, don't follow me. No, but I get it. And I think it starts here first. And something that I think we need to address as an American society, and then more granularly as African Americans, as Black people, the need for mental health. I think that is absolutely essential. Yeah. I appreciate my guests. They have given me their time. They've been absolutely fantastic. Detria, where can they connect with you? What are you doing? I know you just opened up. I know you just partnered with Coach Caliah. I know you got things popping. I know you got this certification and this certification. But let the people know where they can connect you and what they can look forward to getting from you.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Detria Branch. And also look me up under Awesome Olive Holistic Nutrition on Facebook as well when it starts working
again. Perfect. Coach Caliah.
Yeah.
Where can I connect with you?
Follow me, guys, at Coach Caliah on Instagram, and Cailah, same thing on Facebook. And then also our website is designyourbodyacademy.com. Detria's got her own little page on there, so you can see Coach Detria at Design Your Body Academy /Detria. And you can actually schedule directly with her should you be interested in engaging in nutrition, all that good stuff. Oh, and we take HSA and FSA announcements. We're so excited about that. So we've been growing.
Awesome. Y'all connect with Detria, connect with Coach Caliah. She's on the website now. You can literally go to it and then click on her, schedule time to meet with her, connect with Coach Caliah. These are two amazing leaders. They are really there to help you. I'm talking about more than just, hey, did you work out today? I got the Nike Run app. I hear the little voice in my head. I know they don't really love me, but at the same time, these people are really concerned about you. They really want to get you not just healthy and fit. They also want to make sure you're in a good place in life. Connect with these. And if you want to keep seeing amazing influence and amazing leaders like these two individuals, you got to do 3 things because it's a new season where we add an element to it. Connect with your boy on YouTube. Select at the link below at CV_K, Cody Vernon Kelly. Hit me up on Instagram, CVMK33, where all my cool workout stuff is posted. And you want to keep seeing this show, you got to do this because I got to get these student loans off me. Support a brother at Support a Brother Cash App. All my information is there. I appreciate my guests. I appreciate Coach Cailah Detria. You guys have been amazing. Y'all connect with them, click like, subscribe, follow them, and then support, man. Send a message and hey, Detria, I like what you saw. I like what you said. Your content was amazing. I feel the value. I think I need to connect. Let's, just an introductory call. Hit Coach Caliah up. Hey, Coach Caliah, look, I like what you said. You cool. I'm seeing on Black fan. Fanatics. I see the comments and everything. People are writing, but really support because likes are cool. Support is a little bit better.
Right.
Until next time, guys.